Alright, what's up everybody, Shinmoke here, and today we're taking a look at the Battle Beaver custom D-Pad, which I have on this controller here. This is just a standard PS4 controller, if you couldn't already tell. This one has the individual buttons and so on, so I'm going to save this for later. Ignore these buttons, they are not included. So this is the individual buttons we're looking at there. And then this is the default, that was my Discord, sorry. So we're going to go, I have Mortal Kombat 11 open here, and we're just going to run through some tests here. Show you guys the differences that a Battle Beaver D-Pad can make, and if you should get one, or if you should spring for something like the Hori Fighting Commander, which is a fine little controller. So price-wise, Battle Beaver D-Pad, which is these 4 little pieces and then 1 little piece that goes in the middle, that is $20, and then with shipping it's like $26. And then the Fighting Commander here is $25. Regularly is what I got it for, at least. So it came out to only being about $5 more all in. So should you just spring for something like this, or should you just use your existing PS4 controller and then put the mod on? So let's dive into that today. First, we're going to go into practice mode, of course. And I think we're going to be looking at Kung Lao. Just because, well, first off, Kung Lao, he's probably my best character because I'm bad at the game. And then he just has lots of directional attacks. He basically covers all bases in terms of directional attacks. So. Oh, you may also notice the game looks like garbage. I have to have it like that to make sure we get a decent frame rate. So on the standard PS4 controller, I mean, it really is okay. I'm going to checkmark some of the... I think that's the only directional... Because obviously, you know, if you're doing like just a single input, like say you want to do your forward 2, I mean just forward 2, it's going to be the same regardless of your D-pad there. But one where you have to change direction mid-string, or input or direction, excuse me. So... like that. That's not bad. That's not bad on the standard controller here. Totally normal. And then let's get into why you would actually want one. Special moves. That's what's important here. So let's say Kung Lao's oh my god, what is it? Down towards 1 to spin. So how could you get this messed up? How is this better on the individuals? Well, that's why we're on PC, because we can hot swap it. Let's just boom. And then plug the new one right in. Right? We're good? Okay, we're good. And just in the heat of battle, sorry I said that, in the heat of the match, I would say this is definitely 100% better. Because as, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, we'll see. It's very dark, I'm sorry. The entire pad moves as you're doing your inputs. So if you're doing a lot at once, the pad will actually be in a different place than where you left it. It's very minute, but you will notice it. And you won't notice it with the new D-pad. So, say we just do a basic combo, I don't know. Like that. Something like that. You really don't get hung up with the directional at all, and it feels great. Like just moving the buttons around how you like, and basically your muscle memory is your muscle memory, and it'll never switch up on you like with this. So that is the benefit. And the D-pad, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the D-pad is very clicky, thanks to the little piece that's in the middle there. It's obviously underneath the controller and underneath the light film that the inputs are actually... I don't want to call it a circuit board, no, I know that's not what it is. It's basically under the thing that registers all of your inputs. So, and it's what gives this clickiness. You don't want to install these D-pads without that. That's what, I haven't even... I couldn't even see... There's controllers with individual D-pad buttons like this, but no kits out there, I don't think. At least no high-quality ones that were recommended. So basically, it just makes every directional input better. So if you're serious about fighting games, I know platformers like their D-pads as well, then you should spring for this, right? Or should you? Let's get into the competitor here. If you just want to play fighting games, I don't know, this might work for platformers. I don't play platformers. Basically, if the easy analog sticks, it wouldn't be worth anything. But this controller for Mortal Kombat, it actually does lose a few brownie points, at least for me, because I don't like playing claw. Basically, I don't even play claw, so I don't know how to give you a good example. But basically, you use all 6 of these buttons here, and then of course, not cover roll, it's called block. Blocking is just back on away from your opponent. So it actually works really, really well for those, and then we'll get into the D-pad as I plug this in. Hold on. Okay, so for the Hori Fighting Commander, they basically have 2 versions. This one's the PS4 version, and then the Xbox one is a white version of this. I think they both work on PC. So this is PS4, PS3, and PC, so this can work on. And people state that this has the best D-pad for fighting games, hands down. And obviously, Fighting Commander is designed for fighting games. And of course, there's R2 and R1 right here. I did not mean to do that. Oops. But yeah, so like I said, I used this in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and I learned Fighter Z on this controller a whole lot better, I would say. Just because you guys know how Dragon Ball Fighter Z works. Yeah, your dash attack with R2 and so on. How does this work for fighter like Mortal Kombat 11? Mortal Kombat 11 is very popular. So let's do the spin combo here. See, so sometimes you can get into the habit with the PS4 controllers of just sliding your finger like this, and that'll give you your down towards, or, well, in this case, down towards. That'll give you your down towards. On this, though, it is a very small D-pad, but you're going to have to lift your finger pretty much every time you want to make it a special move input, basically. You can do it quickly, but it's obviously more difficult with a glove on, by the way. But you do have to lift your finger or position it in such a way that you can roll it like that. Kind of stand that, but don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the D-pad here. I do have to say this thing is very solidly put together. It's super light. I don't know why I'm lifting it. Like, I couldn't lift another controller, but basically, yeah, it is extremely light, so that is one thing. But the cord is super long. I think 12 feet, something like that. Something crazy. So it is completely possible to do all your good stuff you want to do on the Hori Fighting Commander. It is a great controller. But I do have to say, it you can probably see it is angled where it goes. It has a little arch in it, right? This is meant to basically alleviate the concern with the base controllers, where the D-pad's just on the rocker and the whole thing moves along with the inputs. And this is supposed to alleviate that, basically leaving all of the inputs in the same spot they were. Same as the individual buttons here, right? But it just doesn't work out like that every time, you know? So I do have to say this is a fantastic controller. Really like it, but the PS4 controller, the standard one, is already doing what this controller is doing, and why the PS4 controller is considered one of the best fighting game controllers out there, is because you have one thumb on the D-pad, one on the buttons by default, you know, and that's why so many players prefer it. And so when you put a good D-pad on the PS4 controller, it's just a winner automatically. You can just buy the kit and put it on your pre-existing controller, and it will be cheaper than buying a new controller. Or you could just, whenever a new controller is on sale and you want to get a replacement. I mean, there's a reason I replaced this one. This thing's not doing too hot. But basically, if you can get a controller on sale like I did, and then just install the buttons on a fresh controller, I think it really does work out better if you can spring for them. And then if not, you can go for the Hori Fighting Commander. Great controller. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the conclusion I want to go with here. I have to say, really, they did a really great job with these buttons. You may think, why is it so expensive for 4 little buttons and then a tiny 5th thing? I mean, whole lot of research, whole lot of work, whole lot of money goes into the 3D printer they use. and so on. You should probably understand, since they are a small company, why it is so expensive to develop these tiny little things. But it does make a world of difference. They feel great to use, and it's just I've not regretted it one bit. It's been fantastic. So I think that's my conclusion. I definitely do recommend it if you're willing to spend the money. I know it is a lot for just a pretty noticeable, but still in the grand scheme, a relatively small change to your overall controller. I think it makes a world of difference in fighting games. Otherwise, though, yeah. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching.